Hey, this is B-Dub, and welcome to a new episode of Clearing Out My Head. When was the last time you were in a conversation that was so boring that you stopped listening and just focused on how to not look bored out of your mind? Well, a new poll asked people how often they get bored during conversations, and almost half of us, which is 46%, say it happens sometimes. Another 31% of people say it rarely happens, and 5% claim they never get bored. On the flip side, 10% say they usually get bored when talking to others, and another 4% say it always happens. Old folks are far more likely to claim they rarely get bored. I think as we get older, some things aren't as boring as others. I will share some here in a bit. But when we do get stuck in full conversations, we're not all great at wiggling out of them. 13% of people said they think they're better than most people at slipping away, while 16% say they're worse than most people at getting out. 45% say they are just as stuck as the rest of us. Men are more likely to say they're better at getting out of them than women. For what it's worth, when people were asked how often they think the other person in the conversation is bored, the numbers were basically the same as the times they are bored. So, there's a decent chance the other person knows you're bored with what they're saying. Are our lives and perspectives really that dull? Or is social media just what is killing in-person talking? I'd probably go with that option more than likely. But like I mentioned earlier, as we get older, some things aren't as boring as others. When you're a kid, there's an electricity you feel when you receive a video game or a new pair of shoes. But when you're an adult, you get that feeling when you get a new vacuum or maybe some new underwear. Now, of course, I don't know about the new underwear part, but anyway, millennials and Gen Xers on social media are talking about adult things that seem boring when they were younger but really excite them now. Here are some of the best ones. Number 1, slicing into a perfectly ripe avocado. Now, truthfully, I'm not an avocado fan, so slicing into one doesn't really excite me. Number 2, bird watching. This might be exciting for some people. It's not much for me, folks. Number 3, Instapots. Now, for this one, I had to Google it. I didn't know what it was at first, but once I saw it, I realized it looked like our rice cooker that I use all the time. Number 4, organizing, and by extension, the Container Store. Now, I do love organizing things, maybe more digitally than physically. Excel is becoming my best friend. Number 5, alone time. Sitting in silence, doing nothing, which is actually could be a punishment to some kids, including my own. I wouldn't really call this exciting, but I do love doing this as much as I can, which with my schedule doesn't happen as much as I would like it to. Number 6, paying bills. There's no emotion for this one because all my bills are set up for automatic payments. Number 7, checking items off to-do lists. Exciting? No. Relieved? Yeah. Number 8, puzzles. And some people even get amped about framing them afterwards. I don't get amped because I don't frame them. Plus, the puzzles I do now are on my iPad. Number 9, high quality bedding and spending time sleeping in that bedding. As long as I have a comfortable bed to sleep in, that is exciting enough for me. Number 10, going to the grocery store or a place like CVS and getting a great deal on something. Someone said swiping their loyalty card and watching the total drop. Since I am the one that does most of the grocery shopping in our house, I wouldn't say I get excited with this, but it doesn't hurt when you find a deal on something that you regularly buy. Number 11, walking into a Costco. I don't have a Costco nearby, so I'm not excited about this one either. Number 12, cleaning. Excited? No. Relieved? Yeah. Number 13, yard work. Again, excited? No. Relieved? Yes. Number 14, getting up early on a Saturday to go to the local farmer's market. If I went to the farmer's market, maybe, but no, I don't get excited about them. Number 15, leftovers. Again, I don't get excited about leftovers, but I'm glad when they get out of my fridge to make room for something else. And those are a few of the adult things that millennials and Gen Xers on social media are talking about that seemed boring when they were younger, but really excite them now. Well, thanks for listening to this episode of Clearing Out My Head. Don't forget you can listen to Clearing Out My Head on all major podcasting platforms. Also, you can check out my podcast page on Spotify, where you can listen to past episodes. Check out my social media links, or you can leave me a message. But until next time, this is B-Dub. Thanks for listening. I hope you will join me next time as I continue with Clearing Out My Head.
Today's show is brought to you by Tuesday, the most boring day of the week. Until today.